Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga, sister of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I will be so grateful. Today, I want us to address another serious issue in poultry farming, and that is cannibalism. I've talked about this before, but one of you requested me to make a video on how you can prevent and control cannibalism in our poultry farms. And since we are still learning and continuing to learn, I decided to make this video today. Much as we are really embracing the use of these herbal remedies, there are certain things that we must do correctly to be successful in this project. We must control and prevent cannibalism from happening in our poultry farms. We must give these birds enough feeds, enough clean drinking water, and we must also observe biosecurity in our farms. We must also put these birds in enough chicken house, because much as we shall use these herbal remedies, there are some key things that must be constant for these birds to perform well. So today we shall look at the causes of cannibalism in poultry farming, how you can control it and prevent it from happening in your poultry farm. But if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. We are on our way to 100k subscribers, and I will be so grateful. So let us look at some of the causes of cannibalism. The number one cause of cannibalism in poultry farming is overcrowding. Overcrowding among these layers and broilers is really so bad. I've talked about your chicken house being enough for these birds. They say 4 birds in 1 square meter. Much as some people say 6 birds in 1 square meter, but I would recommend let us put 4 birds in 1 square meter, because when these birds are overcrowded, trust me, cannibalism will automatically emerge out of these birds. And once cannibalism starts like this, sometimes it is very hard to control it, because you will end up even losing so many birds. And then another cause of cannibalism in poultry farming is excessive heat. Excessive heat in our poultry houses, this will still come about the overcrowding of these birds. So make sure that there is enough fresh air or good aeration in those chicken houses in a way that the birds will be comfortable and they will not be stressed, and this will prevent cannibalism from happening in our poultry farms. And then another cause of cannibalism is also bright lights in our poultry farms. All our farms are supposed to have lights. Now when the birds are in the brooder, we should have lights there 24/7. But when they start laying, of course, now me here, I switch off my lights at like 9:30 in the night. But when they're still in the brooder, we should have the lights 24/7. So when the lights are too bright, sometimes it keeps on reflecting on the feathers, on the beaks, on the feet, and some birds become so aggressive, like so eager to know what is going on, and they start pecking on their friends. And that is how sometimes cannibalism will end up emerging in our poultry farms. So I would recommend that when birds are still in the brooder, make sure that when you're putting lights in your chicken house, don't make these light bulbs don't put these bulbs which are very bright, that can attract these birds to keep pecking on each other. That is one way that we are going to control and prevent cannibalism from happening in our poultry farms. And then also parasites and illness also causes cannibalism in our poultry farms. You know, when the birds are sick, some birds will become so dormant that they cannot move. So other birds which are still active and not sick will start coming and pecking on these ones, finding out what is going on. And once a bird peck on another bird and they see blood, you'll find that they keep on pecking on that bird until they can even kill it. Or even when the birds are sick and others end up dying, make sure you remove the dead birds from the farm, because I've had incidents whereby I find that a bird has died inside the farm. You'll find the head is not there. Even the vent has been pecked and it is off. So when these birds are sick, try to separate the sick birds from the ones which are not sick. And also when these birds are attacked by these parasites like mites, like fleas, like lice, they will start pecking on their feathers, and sometimes the blood will come out, and once other friends see the blood that is when the cannibalism will start coming, because the friends will keep on pecking on that part which is bleeding, and that bird will end up dying. And when that vice start developing like this, you'll find that that is how cannibalism will start coming in your poultry farm. And then another cause of cannibalism in our farms is the abrupt changes in the environment and in the management. When you want to transfer maybe your birds from one farm to another, try as much as possible to transfer those birds with all their feeders and drinkers to the new place. Even when they are laying, if you can even take the laying boxes to the new place, please take it, because some of you will end up not planning very well for your chicken houses. So when these birds get older, you'll find that the chicken house becomes small, or you feel like you should shift this bird to another bigger chicken house. So when you do that without transferring some of these things like the feeders and the drinkers, these birds will end up becoming so aggressive. They'll start taking on their friends, they'll start fighting, and at the end, that is how cannibalism will develop in our poultry farms. And then also changing of management, let's say the workers. These birds, once you start with this particular worker, or if it is you who is working in the chicken house, don't keep bringing other people to keep helping you in the chicken house. They also sometimes become so aggressive to that, and that is how they'll start fighting, pecking on their friends, and that is how cannibalism will come in our poultry farms. And then also feed shortage and water shortage in our farms. Most of you farmers, you will find that you don't give these birds enough feeds, and once you don't give birds enough feeds, they will be so aggressive, because a bird is hungry, so they'll actually start pecking on their friends. Even when the drinkers are empty without drinking water, these birds will start pecking on their friends because they are thirsty, so they'll look for other options, and that is how cannibalism will start coming in our poultry farms. And then also poor mixing of feeds. I've talked about this before. When you're going to mix your chicken feeds, make sure you're present in that store where you mix your feeds from. That is for those who do not have enough space to make their feeds from home. Because some of us who are doing poultry farming from a small piece of land, we tend to mix these feeds from the feed stores. Make sure you're present there, because those people are also in business. They will end up not mixing all the nutrients in that feed. And if the feeds lack calcium and fiber, trust me, those birds will look for other options, and they will keep on pecking on their friends' feathers because they are lacking calcium, because they are lacking fiber in their feeds. That is how cannibalism will come in your poultry farm. Now, how do we control and prevent cannibalism from happening in our poultry farms? Make sure that the chicken house is large enough for those birds. Don't overcrowd birds in one chicken house, because you have a small piece of land and you want very many number of birds. If the land is small or the chicken house is small, try to bring birds which are like the number of birds which are enough for that chicken house. And then provide for them some vegetables, especially in the afternoons and in the evenings. Hang vegetables around the chicken, inside the chicken house, so that they get busy on pecking on those vegetables. Okay, now for me here, sometimes most time I don't hang. I just chop the vegetables and take inside the chicken house, especially in the afternoons when I know they are finished with their feeds. In that way, the birds will get so busy and they will not think of pecking on their friends. And then also, for those who are using cages, make sure that you do not congest those birds in the cage. Make sure that the cages are enough for them, because I know those cages, like others have like provision of putting 4 birds or 3 birds. I would advise, if the ones that they have given you for 4 birds, make sure you put only 3 birds. The ones that they have given you for putting 3 birds inside the cage, make sure you put only 2 birds, because if you over congest those birds in those cages, trust me, that is how you will get cannibalism. So the only way of controlling cannibalism among birds in cages, make sure that you don't congest the cages. And then for those who are keeping local birds, now like me here, I also have the local birds. Do not mix these birds. The young ones should be in their own section, and the older ones should also be in their own section. I've seen this happening here. Much as I have birds which are not so aggressive, But once in a while, I see when they are feeding, I'll see that the older ones keep on pecking on the younger ones. And if they keep pecking like that and they see blood like that and they see blood like this, you'll find that they'll keep on pecking on that one until they kill that. But so make sure that if you want to have local birds, the young birds should be far from the older birds. And there are also these birds which are so aggressive. Now, like I had turkeys. Two female turkeys, they were really very good, but so aggressive. They would fight all the time. They would keep pecking on other birds. So I decided actually to slaughter those ones, because when you see birds which are so aggressive, try to eliminate them from your farm. Because if also that aggressiveness develop in the farm, that is how cannibalism will come in the poultry farms. And then also another way that you're going to prevent and control cannibalism from happening is by debaking these birds, especially these layers. Now, when I get my chicks, normally I find when they are already been debaked. Then after 2 weeks, like from 1 week, 2 weeks, that's when the beaks start falling. But with time, it keep on regrowing back. So that is why at 12 weeks, between 12 to 14 weeks, I also do debaking. Because if you do not debake these birds, especially these layers, cannibalism will be so rampant in that farm. So make sure that you also debake the birds. And then also always identify what is causing this cannibalism. If it is overcrowding of the chicken house, make sure that you work on that very well. If the feeds are not being mixed well, make sure that you do the mixing of the feeds very well. And then also for those who are taking care of these exotic birds, make sure that you don't mix them. Some of you have been asking me whether it is advisable to mix the layers and the broilers. Make sure that you do not mix these layers and broilers in one chicken house. If you do that like this, that is how you will see cannibalism immediately in your poultry farms. So if you're keeping broilers, keep broilers in their own chicken house. Keep layers in their own chicken house. And if you're having the local breeds, now me, I have the local breeds. I do not allow them to enter the layers farm, because once they enter the layers farm like this, that one will not even come out. That is how you will prevent and control cannibalism from happening in our poultry farms. And then also, I would also advise that let us not keep changing on workers, because these birds, once you start with this particular person and you keep changing, that is how they can also start becoming so aggressive, peck on each other, and that is how cannibalism will start developing in your poultry farm. So for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back and watching my videos. Thank you so much for loving me. We are on our way to 100K subscribers, and if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I will be so grateful. See you next time. Love you all. Bye bye.